Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Sandy Martin from All Star Family Chiropractic. You can find out more on us at allstarfamilychiropractic.com. But here's what you're here for. It's success for a lifetime of health. And so I often ask the question, what would you look like if you were 100 years old? And a lot of you think of being 100 years old as being broke, crippled, and alone. And that's not okay. And if you knew you were going to live to 100 years old, what would you need to change today in order to make sure that you are healthy, wealthy, and well connected? So this seminar is also called Time, Frequency, and Intensity, because everything that we do that is important and needs to be done is going to require time. It's going to require your intensity, and it's going to require that you do it often, right? So think about it this way. Olympic athletes, racers, track stars, any sport that's really out there, how much are they in it? They own it. They're practicing it. They don't go to the gym once and be like, woohoo, I'm done. Let's go run a marathon. Let's go run a sprint. Let's go do this. No, they're not going to be Olympic. So if you want to be at your best, which you deserve to be at your best, so get that through your head, what are the actions you're going to need to do in order to get there? And maybe you're not the Olympic athlete. Maybe you're not even a marathon runner. Maybe you're not even a 5Ker. You know, a lot of the popular things going on right now is from couch to 5K. That's cool. Do something healthy. Get a team around you, but maybe you just want to be the best mom you can be. Maybe you want to be the best coworker, the best community servant. You deserve to be at your best, but what does that look like for you? Because let me tell you, it's not drinking wine every night and pulling out your hair. It's not feeling stressed and overwhelmed. It's not feeling headaches and brain fog and fatigue. Those are not okay. They're not normal. They are common. And therefore, we mix those words up, normal and common. That just because 90% of people are living life that way does not make it normal. It is common. What is normal is for your body to do what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. Okay? Your body may get sick, but it should be able to fight a disease or virus or bacteria and become well. Sometimes it needs help from medicine. But what we need to do is, in order to live our best lives, is make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And that doesn't mean just diet and exercise, because you can have the best diet and exercise there is, but if you have a crappy nervous system, your body's not going to be able to do anything with that. Now, you could be at a chiropractor and get some of the best chiropractic care and have a really good, healthy nervous system, but if your exercise and diet are crap, your body's not going to be able to do anything with that. So we need to look at the whole picture in order for you to be at your best. You know, what does that look like? So if we were to rate ourselves in our health, we can write our own report card. You can grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 and ask yourself, how is my stress? Where am I spending time in these areas of life? You know, if you can just Google life circle or the wheel of areas of your life, and it comes up with at least 7 categories. Sometimes there's more, but it typically is spiritual. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you in your spiritual life? 10 being amazing. Where are you for diet, exercise, financials, intelligence? Are you spending time learning and growing your intelligence? Family, fitness, and there's several others, but you can rank yourself on these and tell where you're at. There is nothing of greatness that can circumvent the laws requiring time, frequency, intensity in all of these aspects. So in college or in school, you get a report card for your grades. And in life, you get a report card for your health. A report card for failure is a broken, sick body. It also looks like brain fog and fatigue and stress and overwhelm and getting sick often. And so just like those athletes, those coaches and trainers who drill and work with those athletes to see if you're going to make it or if they are going to get cut from the team, I, as a doctor, I'm here to support you and help you by raising up your understanding and your habits that help you get to 100 being healthy, wealthy, and well connected. And if not, if you don't choose this, then we dismiss patients from our practice. We only want the best for you. And if I'm showing up at 100%, I want my patients showing up at 100% as well. Because what does that look like if I were to only show up, 40% of the time for your care? That doesn't look good, right? So what does it look like when a patient only shows up 40%? Or maybe they show up to all their appointments, but they're not doing their exercises. Or they're not practicing the best diet. We talk about it. I'm here for you. But if we don't change our aspects, then me as a doctor, I'm not going to fix you. And it's never my job to fix you. You created the mess you're in. It's your job to get you out. And that's what these classes are about, is educating you enough in order to make the right changes. Because the biggest problem in our body is right here. It's the 6 inches between our ears that we need to change in order to make the changes in our life. Because there's the things that we do. We have to think about things, and the things that we think about then become what we talk about. And what we talk about then become habit. So even if you are not doing this current action, I want you to start talking as if you do that action. So start telling people, yeah, I wake up a half hour earlier and I work out or I stretch. Because eventually what you say, you will start to do and make it become habit. And I'm not here to drive you that hard, but the fact is that there's nothing on this planet that if we are not going to take to the degree of greatness is going to be able to circumvent the laws of time, frequency, intensity, right? It's all about time, frequency, intensity. And once you master it, you do it again. Certainly the health of our bodies, the dependence of our family's ability to have a healthy pair of aging parents or grandparents, that they deserve that attention. What if it is someone in the performing arts even? If you want to be a great artist, you got to still practice time, intensity, and frequency. A ballet person, figure skating. Think about anything that you might do in your life. It doesn't have to be that you're someone special or in the spotlight. But when we play to our level of greatness, it is all about showing up and getting the best report card that we possibly can. So the rhythm of time. So I was bringing up a lot of the greats, the athletes, the coaches. What about if you're just a surgeon or a lawyer? Would you not pick someone that is trained to be their best? I think you would. So if you want to be wanted and sought after that way too, I'm hoping you're training to your best as well. So think about even if you have a child or a friend or yourself who wants to be great. Truly great in athletics and the people for whom you pay the most money for to see. Like some people will go see those Olympic events and spend a whole week's paycheck just to be there. You know, the Super Bowl, March Madness just happened. If we're spending that amount of money just to go be a part of that and see that, imagine what we can actually invest in ourselves and our own time, intensity, and frequency. We have to train every day on a regular basis. So as a doctor of chiropractic, I mean, we know that healing is going to take time. So whether you are under chiropractic care with me or without me, you will need to care for your spine differently for the rest of your life. That's the matter of fact. And it actually happened. I had a chiropractor with me this weekend. And then I had another one I was on the phone with. And both of them were telling me the same story. So it was interesting that I'm teaching this and this story was coming up. Is that the doctor that stayed with me this weekend, she shared with me a patient story, and he was 98 years old. He had great energy. He was still active. He lived by himself, legally able to drive. Amazing story. Like we would all hope to be 98 and have energy and do everything on our own. But he was in a lot of pain, and this pain was newer to him. And when this chiropractor took x-rays of him, he had maybe 5 segments, vertebrae, in his spine out of 24 that were actually movable. The amount of arthritis and degeneration in this guy's spine was so bad, she didn't even feel like she could help him. So she referred him out to someone who she thought she could. Because that's where life is being able to move a joint. And in motion is life. When we have more motion, we're able to do more, experience less pain, and our nerves have less stress on them. And then I have another chiropractor friend I was on the phone with, and she said she spent the weekend helping out her 91-year-old friend who was never under chiropractic care. And she said, had I known now what I knew then, I would have pushed her harder to be under care, because now she couldn't deal with the problem that the chiropractor friend was helping her with now. We have the capability to live to be 125 without any signs of arthritis or degeneration in our spine. But that would require what? It would require us to make sure our spine is aligned and that we're using it in proper alignment on a regular basis. So if I'm going to be living to 100, what's non-negotiable for me is that I will be getting adjusted once a week for the rest of my life. It's non-negotiable. Healing takes time. I'm not done getting adjusted because I have no pain. I'm not done getting adjusted because I have a great range of motion and really flexible and I feel great. If I want to be my best and have the best nervous system that is protected by the spine, then I better make sure my spine is protecting my nervous system by keeping it in alignment. And so it's the same. When are we ever done learning to care for our body? When are we ever done brushing our teeth? When are we ever done eating good foods for us? Salads, vegetables, fruits. When are we ever done exercising? We're not. If we want our best lives, we have to take care of all the things that are great for us. We're never done. It takes time to be our best, and we're always in practice. We're always a work in progress, is what we like to say. And so our disciplines equal freedom. We have to figure out what disciplines work best for us. Like I said, I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm stretching, I'm exercising, I'm reading my journal and my Bible. That may not be your thing, but what is the best thing for you? Because in those disciplines, in getting up early, even if I don't feel like it, I mean, my kid woke me up twice last night to walk her back to her bed and pat her on the back. She's totally worth it. I'm tired. I don't necessarily want to get up. I serve a lot of people every week. But in order to keep doing that, in order to know that what I do matters and to show up time and time again, I have to be at my best. And so in those disciplines equals freedom. It allows me to be my best. Learning to live differently from what we're currently doing, because if you're living the standard American lifestyle of working the 9 to 5, of being stressed, of running the kids around everywhere, of eating fast food, of not always choosing the best things, and most of them people are drinking at least 3 alcoholic drinks a week, that's not our best lifestyle. This is leading to early onset disease, cancer, heart failure, which are the leading causes of death. The average life expectancy in the U.S. today is 77.2. That's down 2 years, because even last year it was at 79, almost 78.9. That's a huge change. We're living less, and that's not okay. We're never done. When do we stop doing something with unending benefits? If we stop doing something with unending benefits, we start to die. As long as there is breath in your lungs, you still have a purpose. You have a chance for change and hope. Never think it is too late. You might be riddled with arthritis. In fact, I have this other story about this guy, he's in his late 70s. He comes into me, he's having low back pain into his right hip. I take x-rays on him, and I say, dude, I'm pretty sure you're a candidate for hip surgery. I don't think chiropractic care is going to be your answer. And he goes, yeah, well, I'm not having surgery, so do your best, doc. And he's been having this hip pain and radiating down his leg for 8 years. And I do one adjustment. And he comes back, he says, pain that's been a level of 8 out of 10 is down to a 3. One more adjustment, no pain. He's back to dancing every night with his wife. Now the pain comes back every once in a while. But man, can you imagine if he had started 8 years ago? How much longer his life is going to be happier and fulfilled dancing with his wife. Our life and what we do changes. So we got to take care of ourselves sooner rather than later, because I see moms do this all the time. that they think there's time for later. They'll take care of themselves later. And that's not okay. It starts with one decision at a time. We don't have to change everything all at once. That's overwhelm and stress again. But one decision at a time. And don't think about diet. Don't think about starting a workout regimen or hiring a trainer. It starts with making lifestyle changes. And that only starts by changing your thinking. And that's why I love chiropractic. It's simple, it's pure, it's clean. It adjusts the spine so that the brain and the body function better. And all you have to do is show up. So you get to decide the level that you want to play at. But the fact is, whoever you are, if you have joints, your maintenance of those joints is going to require time, frequency, and intensity. And you cannot circumvent those rules. Life happens. We have gravity constantly pushing down on us. We have traumas, we have thoughts, we have toxins that create us to be in bad posture. In fact, if there's even a small injury like whiplash at 5 miles an hour, jumping off a swing, doing that head, this, I'm going to turn sideways. This is whiplash. 5 miles an hour is all it takes, a fender bender. You may not have ever needed hospital treatment. You may not have gotten a concussion. You may not have even blacked out or gotten a headache. But that's all it takes to create scar tissue in your spine. And all it takes is 7 days for scar tissue to become permanent. And the adjustments help break this down and help your body heal better. Chiropractic is amazing. And that is why when you come here to us, your appointment begins the instant that you put your hands on the door. We start to change your thinking. We educate all our patients on making sure they want to live their best life. Everything that we do is a learning experience. Make sure your life is that way too, even if you're not in our community. You are now in our online community. We have to make sure that you're learning here too, and we can't thank you enough for being here, to wanting to do something different. So adjustments do affect your thinking and they affect your body. And there are multiple research, printed and peer-reviewed research articles out there that show that. So the road to recovery, because a lot of people will say, well, chiropractic, once you start, you always have to keep going. Well, that's the whole point of this. You can stop whenever you want. You can. You can stop whenever you want. You can stop eating healthy foods. You can stop working out. You can stop brushing your teeth. You're welcome to stop whatever you want in life. It's your life. But here's what often happens when someone starts coming into my office with a problem. So if we follow this road to recovery, at the bottom on the left-hand side, the red is someone is in suffering, pain, has some type of symptom. And every dot is a visit, right? So by the way, this printout is from Patient Media. We have this poster in our office as well. So every dot is a visit, and there's multiple visits in the beginning, and you start to get better up into the yellow. And then what happens, people start to feel better, so they drop off care, and so they go down back into the red. Then they're back in my office 6 months later with a whole bunch of adjustments again just to get out of pain and maintain. Then they start to get better, and they drop off care, and then they tend to get worse and worse and worse. And then they come back in with more pain, and they allow the arthritis and degeneration to continue, and they need more visits in order to undo even a portion of that work. Because it's very hard that once there's arthritis and degeneration to get it to move again. And so the pain level just keeps going down and down and down. Therefore, the quality of life keeps going down and down and down. And that is why in America, when we think of a 100-year-old, we're thinking of broke, crippled, and alone. Because we were never taught to continue to take care of ourselves. We were only taught that we need to do something when there's a symptom. And that is not health. Health is when we take care of our body in the prevention. In fact, an ounce of prevention, a little bit of work, is worth a pound of cure. I think Hippocrates said that or something like that. It's not my words. But if we do just a little bit of work when we are healthy, it will continue the roller coaster of going up, up, and up. If we look at this road to recovery map again, that if we choose that when we start to feel better and have less symptoms, and we continue visits but space them out farther and farther apart, we continue the road to recovery and be at our best. We might have setbacks, but someone who's continued chiropractic care, if a setback is to happen, they tend to get better faster and it's less intense. You deserve that from your life as well. So 3 things you cannot circumvent if you're taken away from this. Number 1 is time. The principle that I want you to learn is truth. Learn the truth about what life and our time on this earth is. I want you to take things away because if you leave here educated, whether you move across the country or if I were to perish tomorrow, you still get to be a better person because this isn't about me. This is about you. There is nothing we experience as great in this world that can circumvent the laws of requiring time, frequency, intensity. So those 3 things that you cannot get away with are going to be time, frequency, and intensity. You get to show the level of which you show up. How many times are you going to schedule X? How much time are you going to spend in X? And the intensity? Intensity is the energy and the vitality needed in order to sustain an activity. How much do you want to sustain and what activities are important enough to you that you stay your healthiest? And that's why maintenance chiropractic care is always so important. You have the choice. You can always stop chiropractic care once you're out of pain. However, the problems are going to come back. More stress on the nervous system and degeneration and arthritis are going to set in. So, overall quality of health improvements while under chiropractic care, these are the cool things that happen. People under maintenance care experience reduced symptoms and depression and anxiety. Would you like less depression and anxiety? In fact, this is my own personal story. I used to have panic attacks in high school until a chiropractor adjusted a certain part of my body. That's my secret. I'm not telling it out there. And I never had another panic attack again. Isn't that awesome? That's amazing. People under regular chiropractic care, they experienced less visits to medical providers. They needed less medicine. They relied more on their bodies to do what it's supposed to do. They experienced less hospitalization days. And the patients received maintenance services as highly beneficial to prevention and health promotion. Yeah, I know that whole study, and I've read it multiple times. There's more that I go into it usually, and that's not for this seminar. So make sure you tune into some of our other stuff and subscribe here. So overall quality of health improvements under chiropractic care continued though. So a longitudinal assessment of chiropractic care using a survey or self-rated health, wellness, and quality of life. This is another study done by Mariano MJ and Philippa ML out of the Journal of Vertebral Subluxation Research in 1999. And they studied patients under care for 5 months. Improvements were reported in their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health, overall wellness, with no end to the benefits. It just keeps going. When we take care of our nervous system and we feed it the right things and we exercise it and we stretch it, our life is better. So you will hear me send messages out like this constantly, but you're the one that has to choose to show up at each appointment here. Your appointments. It's not my appointment, it's your appointment here to get adjusted, but it's also your appointment at the gym or home gym or whatever you do to work out. It's also your appointment at the grocery store to stay on the outside aisles. You need to do the most what you get out of home and in life and in work. You may need to drive your car differently, to sit up differently, to change the position of your TV and your chairs in order to have a better posture. Work on your posture in every domain of your existence with newfound ambition and do it right now, because if you don't, your joints start to break down. And when your spinal joints start to break down, it puts pressure on your nervous system and it causes you to age exponentially. But you have the ability to live so much longer. So the rhythm of life, it never ends. So choose wisely and you get to benefit greatly. Now this may not be just for you. No, wait, let me rephrase that. I know this isn't just for you. You need to share this because someone in your life needs to hear what I am saying today in order to make a change. This is a kick in the butt right now to say something has to be done differently. Because doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity if you're expecting a different result. Doing the same thing over and over again with time, frequency, and intensity in order to live your best life is great. But if it's eating ice cream over and over and over again, 3 to 5 nights a week, that's not okay. If it's poor posture over and over and over again, and you're expecting to feel better, that's not okay. You deserve to live your best life and practice the good things in time, frequency, intensity in order to set you up for success, to have lifetime health. It is doable. There are many people that have proven it. But it starts with one choice at a time. And if you ever need to reach out to me, contact me, leave a comment here, reach us at allstarfamilychiropractic.com. I am definitely here for you, and I hope you live your best life. Have a good one.